I am Mary Wollstonecraft. I am writing to you from 230 years ago, urging you to come to your senses. I cannot describe the anger and disappointment I feel. You who have freed yourselves from physical chains, who vote, who participate in the workforce, now wander aimlessly, shackled by your own emotions and this modern slavery called love that has been fed to you. Today, I will explain to you that the despicable act known as cheating is not simply betrayal. This will be an epic revelation of a character flaw, a spiritual shallowness, and how you paved the way for it. Men cheat. It's in their nature. This is the biggest lie ever invented, leaving men to their animalistic urges and forcing you to put up with their natural behavior. Let me warn you, a man's infidelity is the clearest sign of his character weakness, moral cowardice, and spiritual shallowness. A strong, self-assured man with a solid moral compass will not compromise his integrity or break his word for short-term pleasures. A man who cheats is usually one who does not feel sufficiently strong, successful, or appreciated in his own life. He is oppressed at work, feels worthless among his friends, and carries an inner void. Another woman's interest in him is an artificial heartbeat that fills this void, giving him a temporary illusion of power and importance. It is an artificial respirator used by a weak soul. When you ask him why, what you will actually hear is an admission of this weakness. A genuine relationship requires effort, dialogue, compromise, and sometimes even fierce conflict. An immature, childish mind is incapable of facing these challenges. It seeks a new and seemingly problem-free escape route. Cheating arises not from solving problems, but from running away from them. It is an act of cowardice. It is the act of a pirate who fears confronting their partner, is incapable of discussing their feelings, and seeks only a new harbor to flee to. For these people who place their own needs and desires at the center of the universe, you are not an individual, but a means to their satisfaction. Your feelings, your dignity, the trust you offer them, are obstacles to their freedom to do as they please. When they deceive you, they see it as a right. They act with the mindset that I am special. The rules do not apply to me. This is the logic of a tyrant. The age of social media has amplified this vulnerability many times over. If a man does not receive sufficient attention and appreciation from his partner, or feels that he does not, he will seek out a new source to fill this void. Every new flirtation, every new like, every new "you're amazing" message is a dose of narcotic that keeps the person feeling desired and valuable. This is an expression of a deep sense of personal worthlessness. Now, having understood this pitiful state of mind, I ask you, why have you become so dependent on the approval and affection of a man with such a character? Why do you determine your own worth based on the fluctuations of such shallow waters? Your mistake begins not when you are deceived, but in the mindset that paves the way for your deception. Society casts you in the role of the strong woman, yet simultaneously weakens you with toxic ideas that seep into your consciousness. 1. The paradox of the strong and independent yet afraid of being a lone woman. You have economic freedom. You stand on your own 2 feet. Yet deep down, the fear that if I'm not feminine and compliant enough, I'll end up alone is ingrained. This fear pushes you to compromise your standards, bend your boundaries, and tolerate men who don't deserve you. True strength lies in being able to face the possibility of being alone. 2. Emotional dependency and the savior expectation. Instead of building your own life, providing for yourself, and being the architect of your own happiness, you believe that a man will complete you, that he will save you. The feeling that without him, I am nothing makes you dependent and diminishes your value in your partner's eyes. No one feels excitement or respect for someone who is constantly clinging to them, unable to stand on their own 2 feet. This is a mother-son relationship, not a partnership between spouses. 3. The trap of endless compassion and understanding. You were taught to be understanding. You were told that's just how men are. This understanding turned into turning a blind eye to your boundaries being violated. You are expected to constantly carry his work stress, past traumas, and emotional instability. What about your exhaustion? What about your violated boundaries? This one-sided emotional labor drains you while spoiling him further. 4. You are guided by your feelings and instincts rather than your mind. But I love him, you exclaim. Well, does he love you? Does he respect you? Is he honest with you? Does he value your mind and character? Instead of questioning these things, you cling to the romantic moments you experienced in the past, to that honeymoon feeling of the first few months, and ignore today's insults, belittling, and disrespect. Being blinded by love is not foolishness, it is a choice. And this choice will ultimately turn you into an emotional wreck. 5. Social media's new grace cage. Once upon a time, we were told to embroider and play the piano. Now you're expected to take the perfect selfie and share an interesting story. You have made yourself a prisoner of your appearance and a shallow profile that garners likes. You expect a man to take you seriously, yet you market yourself like a commodity. This is a new and more insidious version of the same old trap. Here are concrete, harsh signs to bring you back to your senses. If you see these and make excuses like, but, maybe, then the problem lies with you. A rational being faces reality. A. Signs of deception in the digital age. 1. Sudden secrecy and paranoia. They now carry their phone computer with them everywhere, even taking it to the toilet. They avoid showing you their screen, bending over it or turning it away. When questioned, they make accusatory statements such as, "Don't you trust me?" or "Respect my privacy." Remember, an honest person has nothing to hide. This behavior is the clearest reflection of guilt. 2. Change in social media activity. New and mysterious followers following appear. Intense and constant interaction. Likes, comments, DMs begins with people you don't follow or know, usually just one person. The tone of their posts changes. Either it is completely detached from their relationship with you, or it is colder and more distant towards you. 3. Differences in app and messaging habits. They start frequently using instant messaging apps, Telegram, Signal, etc., that they haven't used on their phone before. They move away from you while texting, leave the room, or clear their history after messaging. They make implausible excuses like, "I saved it by mistake." Abnormalities in online time. They appear online during hours when they would normally be asleep. They experience unexplained long periods of being offline or busy at work or during their normal daily routine. These moments of silence are time set aside for someone else. B. Obvious signs of emotional and physical distance. 5. Your conversations become superficial and fail to deepen. They respond with answers like, "I'm fine" or "nothing's wrong." They ignore your emotional needs or accuse you of being dramatic. It's as if they are physically present, but mentally and emotionally very distant. This feeling never seems wrong to you. 6. Groundless and constant criticism. Suddenly your clothes, your speech, your ideas, your friends, everything starts to bother them. They constantly compare you to someone else, usually an undefined other woman or ex-girlfriend. This is both an attempt to alleviate their own feelings of guilt and an attempt to establish superiority and devalue you by making you doubt yourself. 7. Decreased or insincere physical contact. Hugs, kisses, and intimate contact disappear. Sexuality turns from an act of bonding into a mechanical need to be satisfied. Sometimes, out of guilt, they may show mechanical intimacy, but this is a cold and unfeeling contact, like that of a robot. When your skin touches theirs, you feel that no one is there. 8. The deterioration of shared social life. They no longer wish to participate in social activities together, saying they are tired. They begin to postpone or cancel meetings with your friends or family. They try to distance you from their own social circle. This is because it is more difficult to maintain their hypocrisy in these environments. Superior routine and dress. 9. Unexplained and constant overtime trips. Overtime hours at work increase abnormally. Sudden and suspicious business trips, early departures, or late arrivals occur. The reasons they give you are vague, contradictory, or easily refutable. Simple excuses such as there was traffic become more frequent. 10. Sudden changes in clothing and grooming. He begins to dress more carefully, buying new clothes for his daily commute rather than when he goes out with you, using a different perfume, and spending more time on his physical appearance, hair, beard, exercise. If this change is noticeable in his daily routine rather than on dates with you, it is a very strong sign. Now we come to the most important part. You have noticed or proven all of this. So what happens now? Here is an action plan that will be the voice of your mind and your honor, not your emotions. These only make you appear weak, out of control, and crazy. This leads them to say, "See how dramatic you are? I was right." Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that this situation reveals their character, not your worth. Calmness is your greatest strength. 2. Gather evidence and face the facts. Rely on concrete data, not your emotions. Don't speak without clear evidence in hand. This puts you on solid ground. When you have evidence, speak not to corner them, but to hear the truth and clarify your own mind. 3. Confrontation. Make it like a philosophy exam. Invite them to speak calmly and clearly, not accusingly. Say, "You told me you were at such and such a place at such and such a time, but that's not the case. Your behavior has changed, and I know you're not being honest with me. I'm giving you a chance to explain." Pay attention to their silence. Pay attention to their evasive answers. Pay attention to their attempts to blame you. "You're always like this. You don't trust me." All of these attitudes are the defense mechanisms of a guilty person. The truth is usually found not in what is said, but in what is left unsaid, and in these defensive attitudes. 4. Forgive or leave. This is solely your rational decision. If you choose to forgive, this should not be a favor, but a conscious agreement. Unconditional, unquestioning forgiveness is a green light for them to repeat the same behavior. The conditions of this forgiveness must be clear. Complete transparency, therapy, individual or couples therapy, transparency on social media accounts, and clear boundaries. The phrase, "if it happens again, this relationship ends," is not a threat, but a promise you make to your own honor. Remember, forgiving is not forgetting or trusting again. Forgiving is a decision you make to not allow the poison to eat away at your body. But you must take every measure to ensure that poison does not flow again. If you are leaving, never see this as a loss or defeat. See it as the most valuable investment you have made in your own honor, your mind, and your future. Leaving is not giving up. It is choosing. It is choosing yourself. A rational being never hesitates to remove something harmful from their life. After making this decision, there will be attempts to get you back. They will beg you, tell you they miss you, promise they have changed. In these moments, focus not on those old romantic memories, but on the cold, hard reality of their betrayal. Suffering is better than humiliation. 5. And the final solution. Be the architect of your own life. Turn this pain you are experiencing into an opportunity to rebuild yourself. This is my most important advice to you. Arm yourself with financial freedom. Being dependent on a man is the greatest invitation for him to treat you however he pleases. Earn your own money. Focus on your career. Stand firmly on your own 2 feet. Strengthen your mind. Learn to act with your mind, not your emotions. Read philosophy. Exercise logic. Question the world. Spend your free time enriching your own mind, not watching other people's lives on social media. A strong mind is the strongest shield. Strengthen your social circle. Don't leave yourself alone in a man's world. Build friendships and family ties with people who value you, support you, and accept you as you are. This network is the safety net that will pick you up every time you fall. Be the sole responsible for your own happiness. Learn to include a man in your life, not to be saved by him. Have your own hobbies, passions, and goals. Do not tie your happiness to the presence or absence of a man. My final word is this. You were created not to be slaves to your emotions, but masters of your intellect. If a man does not respect your intellect, your character, and your spirit, his interest in your body or your time is worthless. Betrayal is not an end, but a beginning. The beginning of discovering your own power. The beginning of remembering your honor. The beginning of understanding what it means when they say, a woman's first duty is to learn to be strong with the noble pride of independence. Feel this strength within you. Stand tall, use your mind, and never, ever give anyone the power to make you feel like second-class citizens in your own eyes. Subscribe and share your comment now. I'm sure you'll be good if you listen to me and think carefully. See you at the next part.